Hi everyone, good morning. We can start the training for today. Welcome you all. Today's topic will be dealing with CI class manager. Okay, the first and foremost topic in a syllabus that is called CI class manager. We will be learning about those areas. I think you can view my screen as of now. In the CI class manager, the first and foremost thing you have to learn about the CI class structure actually. So how it is actually structurized in the CMDB table. That is what you will be learning in the system. So first and foremost thing, everybody just please be ready with your PDI. Okay. So while coming to the session, if you have PDI ready, then you can see the practical stuff in your side also. You can do some small references from your PDI. The first and foremost table is called CMDB underscore CI. Okay. Sharing my instant screen. Just give me a minute. You have to search for CI class manager over here. If you can see in the CI class manager, you could see there is around 2784 total CIs are present over here. So CI dot list. If I search for the list from
To begin
here,
the lights object.
you could see the same numbers also over here. So only the CI class manager it will show if you have a live stuffs over there. Okay, this is the count. But now I'm going to work with my Windows server. Okay, I search for Windows, it will show all the related Windows item. I'm going to search with my Windows server. If you see the Windows server, it just has a family hierarchy over here. From the CMDB base table to hardware table to computer table, computer to server, server to Windows server. If I click on Windows server, it is opening up a small form for us. Here you could see the Windows server name. What is the table number of that particular server? And then this icon. Icon can be changed as you like. If you click on that icon, you could see some other icons also over here. You can change as per your need. If you create a new CA also, you can keep a new icon over here. And here, the first and foremost thing what you can see over here is the description. If you have any description for this Windows server, you can write some small description over here. And the next two field is called extensible. Okay. The next field is called extensible over here, which means if you click on this extensible, you can add a child class to this one. For Windows Server, you can add another child class to one. If it is not extensible, you cannot extend this table to any other child table. For example, here I have Windows Server, but in server, can you see it is extendable? So it is also having a button called add child class over here. Add child class over here because it is shown as an extensible, but here for the server. But if you see for Windows Server, it is not extensible, which does not have, which means you can't add any other child classes to this one. Principal class. Principal class in the sense marking some important classes as a principal class. The CIs belong to this class can be filtered from the CMDB table list view. How? Let me show you that. If you go for this configuration item table, here in the filter section, the list control filter section, you have a filter called principal class. Can you see, guys? If I click on that, now I don't see any principal class. If I keep this Windows Server as principal class and I'm saving it, now all the servers within this table will become as a principal class over here. See, all the Windows Server comes as in the part of filter principal class. If you want to mark any kind of CI to be important CI, and that needs to be visible in a separate list view in the sense, then you have to check on the checkbox to make a to make a particular CI as a principal class. So now the next and foremost one is called as managed by group. So this managed group will be applied to the members of the classes. Okay. So unless they are associated with any technical team, other than them, they will be considered here as a managed by group. By which group the CI will be get managed. That is what the thing. It will be referring to the normal user table only. Okay. It would got refer to the normal user table. Here it is the default product model which will be get connected with the product table. For example, I could say like products CMDB underscore. Let me go to the table CMDB underscore model dot list. All these are the product models. If you have any of the product model get attached to it, then you can add some product model to it. By a default, as a default, for every server, this is the product model. Like that, you can add it up. It can be any type of product models. Now, let's move on to the attributes. Let's see about the attribute. So I could see nearly 111 fields over here. Attributes nothing but the fields within the table. Okay. Attributes are nothing but the fields within the table. Now I see all. All means all fields from this table, all attributes of the table, which is around 111. Derived means which are coming from the direct parent, which is called server. Derived means these are the fields that are inherited from the parent is 111. Added means it is added explicitly for this table alone. That is the meaning of it. But we don't have added as of yet. We have only derived, which is 111. It is actually showing up over here. If we go to servers for attributes lessons, servers for your attribute in essence, you have 111. These 111 fields only coming up in the derived over here, which is the direct parent to the Windows server. And here, if you see, there are 111. Derived one is 106, which is coming from the computer table. Okay. And added fields are five fields. 5 plus 106. 5 plus 106 is 111 fields. Now you can, if you have any doubts in these two things, you can put forward your questions.
Prasi, derived attributes will have only computer attributes, or we can say others also will be involved.
Direct parent, all the attributes. This direct parent will have all the attributes of its own direct parent.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? No, right? Okay. The next important one is the IRE rules. Okay. IRE engine we have within ServiceNow, which is responsible for every other movements within ServiceNow. Okay. For this, I'm going to share you my PPT. CMDB IRE. Okay. IRE contains identification rule, reconciliation engine rule, and relationship rules. 3 rules it has. Okay. The first one is identification rule, which identifies the new CI, existing CI, or if the data is incomplete. These are the 3 things it will get identified. Which means, for example, take an example from the discovery or from any other Excel sheet, you're adding the data to the particular table. Now it will check whether the same CI get existing in the system. Okay. If it is yes, it will try to update if there is any new value added to that particular field. Else, it will add a new CI to the system. So whatever things you try to add to the data source, first it will check whether you have any of the existing CI for that. Else it will create a new CI within the system. This is why the identification rules will be working in the system. Reconciliation engine has a flow, or I could say like it just has some rules to do that, where data refreshment rules will be here in the reconciliation rule. Data is only updated if new values are from the more trusted source than existing data. For example, you already have a particular data. You already had a particular data within the system. Now it is getting updated from multiple sources. Okay, it is getting updated from multiple sources. Okay, in that time, which source is most trusted sources, that will be get updated. Now let me tell you that I'm going to take a computer table as of now. A computer table. A computer table as of now. In the computer table, I'm going to have in the computer table, I'm going to have a field called, okay, a field called CPU. I'm going to take CPU or no, I'm going to take RAM. RAM means it will contain the answer as 8 GB, 16 GB, this kind of GP values, some gigabytes memory values it is going to have. Now for the computer table, we are getting the source from SCCM, okay, SCCM, ServiceNow discovery through Excel sheet. Through Excel sheet, we are going to get it up. And last but not least, we are going to get it from the answer from the value of Evanti. These are different what to say, discovery sources. From here, the data will comes into ServiceNow. Now, think in this way. This SCCM guy have 8 GB memory. Okay. Same way, this SCCM guy has 8 GB. Our discovery has 16 GB. And our Excel sheet containing 12 GB. And the event it is coming as 32 GB. So for the same computer table, for the same record, for the RAM field, different GP values coming from different sources. Now, can you tell me which is the most correct answer? Which is the most correct GP that this particular computer have? Which source we can trust? So now you can tell me, like, for the same computer table, for the same RAM field, I am getting the answers as 8 GB from SCCM whenever the SCCM get runs. I am getting 16 GB whenever the discovery get comes. And this Excel sheet and this the event part. We can't tell that which is the most trusted one. Still, we should write some precedence order for this one. Still, we should write what? Some precedence order for this one. Precedence order, I could say like, for SCCM, my precedence order will be like 200. Okay. Discovery, let me give us 100. Excel sheet, I'm set it up as 300. For event, I'm setting up as 400. Okay. Now what happened in this scenario? First, the SCCM part get runs. This will get runs. It will first, whenever it runs, it will see this preceding, it is 200. It will update as 8 GB. Next, it will run the discovery source. Okay. Here, it sees the precedings. The before preceding is 200, which updated as SCCM. Now, the precedence is 100. Lower precedents have higher value. Comparing to 200, 100 is small. So, this has the higher precedence. It will update it to 16 GB as of now. Now we run the Excel sheet. It will check the precedence. It is 300, which is lower than, which is higher than this one, which means it has lower precedence. It won't update to 12 GB. Still, it will get remains in 16 GB only. Same way here also it is 14. Comparing to this one, it has lower precedence. It won't update to 32 GB. Still, it will remain 16 GB, which means the precedent value, whichever has lower, that will be considered as a higher precedent value. So, it will stays in the 16 GB itself. Any questions in this one? Guys? Okay. I'm going to give you a 2 minutes of break as of now. This break, you can just go and see about the Linux server table and their parents. Okay. And just give me an answer about the Linux server and their parents. I'm just giving you 2 minutes of time for this one. I think you might have checked that. So now we are going to see how you have to do the configuration on the back of the identification and the reconciliation rules in the backend. Now, here in the system, you can see about the identification rules over here. Okay. This identification rules, you have to write like it may be from the parent, or each and every table has its own rule. But here, if you see, you have the rule that is called hardware rule, applies to hardware, which means from the parent of the server hardware, this rule only applicable for even for computer, even for server. I could say like even for Windows server, this hardware rule only, it is applicable. The first and the foremost thing they are checking in this table is the serial number. And if you see, this is the lookup table, not even directly from the hardware table. It is going and checking up, in the serial number table. Okay. The serial number table is called as CMDB underscore serial underscore number. This is our serial number table, where it will come and check first if there is any serial number with the same thing, and it will get it will get mapped to the exact configuration item. But over here, the first one, it will go and check in serial number table. The second one, it will come and check in the hardware table serial number field. Okay. Hardware, for this one, it will come and check this particular attribute called hardware serial number field. And for this one, in the same table, CMDB underscore C underscore hardware table, it will check for the name that is coming from the particular data source. From there only it will decide if it has the same serial number, it will update in the same record. Now, a particular CA doesn't have serial number at all, then it will skip this too, and it will come and check the third field of name over there. If the name get matches, it won't create. It will update the existing record. If it doesn't found any name with that record, then it will create a new CI in the CMDB CI table. And now the next and the foremost part is you have to, it is checking in the network adapter table for the MAC address and name. So this is how it will check for the whether to apply the new one or to get the existing one to be get updated. Any questions? Guys?
Ma'am, can you help me with that precedency? How this 100 only will be take it into consideration as we have discussed?
This is for identification rule, okay?
Hmm.
Identification rule doesn't have anything with precedence.
Okay,
This is only to insert or update the record.
okay,
That
understood.
particular one will work whenever we try to update a field, okay?
Mhm.
It will update or insert. But when you try to update something, in that time it will work for the precedence. This
Okay,
should comes on the reconciliation rule.
okay.
Okay.
It's like a
Here,
Kolesk value.
not police, I could say.
Okay.
For example, here Over here, you have to choose from which source it is coming from. First of all,
Mhm.
import set, land desk, service now itself, service watch. From which source it is coming up. For example, agent client collector. And what is the priority of that one? 200, 300. Priority you can give. Like
Okay.
this, you can add multiple sources with their priority.
Okay.
So with the precedence, it will be working. Now you tell me which has the higher precedence over here.
Discovery.
What discovery?
Discovery source service now.
Service now. Okay. Which has the very low one?
400 agent client collector.
Yes. Now once you select the source with the priority, next you have to go to for which field this will be get applicable. I chooses RAM from the previous one, right? RAM I chooses. You can choose any other field for this particular field. For example, I could say DNS name. So you have to choose for which field alone it will be applicable, or it is applicable to all the attributes. You can just check it up this one. See? Now I have a question with you. If from the four sources, okay, whatever field you selected over here, no value is coming from the system, or for service watch or agent client collector, what
Mm.
will be the field value?
No idea, ma'am.
It is null,
Okay.
no value. And think about this one. From agent client collector, the RAM value is 8 GB. In ServiceNow, it doesn't have any RAM value at all. Now, whether it will clear out the value or still it will keep the previous value.
Okay.
It's a question. From agent client collector, the RAM is 8 GB. But from ServiceNow discovery, it is 0, nothing it is there. Whether it will keep the previous value or it will update to the new one.
Update with the new one.
Sorry?
ServiceNow
It
value.
will update the new one.
Yeah, that is correct. So if you click on next for this precedence, you have to add for which field it has to work. And the next one, this is like called authorized to serve discovery sources can update only these CIs that met the following condition. For example, still you can update it, but you have to cross this filter condition. Then only it will get update. So like that, if you have any kind of rules to be get added over here, for example, assignment group is not empty. Okay, this is the rule you created. Even though if you want to update it, but still you have to satisfy this condition. Okay. For example, you have the RAM. Okay. If the RAM value is more than 62, okay, then only this particular field would has to be get updated. So like this, you can write some, create some rules or create some filter conditions to add the rules against it. Whatever rules you added over here, all conditions should be met before the reconciliation update get happens. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Tomorrow while coming up, I have a homework for you all. Okay. So first of all, take this any server table itself or computer table, hardware table. Add some data to it. Okay. Keep the Collies field not as serial number. Keep some other field as some Collies field. And check whether whatever field you keep as a Collies in the Excel sheet is working as a precedent. Else, whatever the IRE, that identification rules has, it is just working. Are you getting my point, guys? Yes or no, please?
Oh, no, ma'am. Can you repeat again? I'll note down that, and or else I'll follow the recording, and I'll prepare.
Very easy. See, I have an Excel sheet. Okay.
Okay.
This is like just like in brainstorming. I have an Excel sheet. I have some values in it. When I try to transform it, I'm not keeping a serial number field as Collies. But you know, for hardware, serial number field is the main one, is the serial number.
Correct.
Correct. Now you don't make that field as Collies. Make some dummy field as Collies, like a RAM or something else. Now you try to upload it and check whether your backend identification rule is working or still that Collies field is overriding that identification rule over here.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep.
Just add 1 or 2, 3 datas for it. That's it.
Okay.
Here you have another rule called data refreshment rule. It says when specify when a CI turns stale for a discovery source, allowing the CI to be updated by the lower priority authorized discovery source. Click on it. You know what is meant by stale CI? Stale CI in the sense there are some CIs, but it doesn't have any updation for more than 60 days through any of the sources. Then it is called as stale CI. You have to specify when a CI turns stale for the discovery source. For example, which discovery source you have to put and how many days. After 60 days or 90 days, whatever it is. So by this, you can make every CI to be, whichever CI that is, that particular CI to be get refreshed automatically by this rule. For example, there is no updation for a particular CI for more than 60 days. then this rule will get applied and it automatically try to push that CI into this uh, discovery source forcefully, and it will try to refresh it or try to update it, that value. In that way, you can keep a CI without being turned into the stale CI. So every CI has to be updated, not with new values. Every time it should be comes within the discovery source, and it has to processed, and it has to updated the updated like it is every time up and it is working properly, like this kind of updates. But if the CI doesn't get participated in this one and it is sitting as stale, it doesn't have any update and nothing else, it doesn't run into any service no discovery sources, then you need to push that CI to automatically get run in these sources. So that is why we have this data refreshment rules. Okay. These are some of the suggested relationships coming out of the box. If you see over here, this is the Windows server. What are the possible parent relationship? What are the possible child relationship? This will be given to you. Okay. You can filter this one using. I need only inbound. What is the incoming things that can be happen for Windows server? You need to check by this one. It will be visible over here. Do you want to see outbound and filter out inbound? What are the outbound relationship you can have with this Windows server? These are the type of relationship it has. For example, I could say own owns by. I have taken it up. Runs on. I have runs on and receive data from. This Windows server runs on this particular server. That is the meaning. This Windows server receives data from this particular mass storage device, receives the data from this particular Windows server. So you explicitly have this relationships. Okay.
We'll get it in ServiceNow only, no, madam. CMDB underscore uh, real dot list. So is that the same?
It is same only.
Okay.
This is like parent-child relationship, but in what relationship it just get connected? Runs on, initiated by. So this thing will tell you dependent and independent relationship. You have to go through it just like that. So, for example, depends on used to by. Parent CI depends on child CI, meaning that the problem or change in the child CI may impact the parent CI. Okay. So this is how you have to understand the meaning. For example, this can happen in the real-time scenario. For example, there is a issue happening in the child CI. It will automatically impact the parent CI. Sometimes you may see the impacted CIs list and affected CIs list in the change management. Have you ever seen that? impacted CI and affected CI?
No, ma'am, just run the query. That's it. I didn't see that.
In the change request or even in incidents, you could see this fields actually. Some interview questions also these people asking nowadays with this one actually. Can you see here, then you have two type of CIs. One is affected CI. Okay. Another one is called impacted CIs. Do you know the difference between these two things? Anyone?
No, affected. I know. If it will be affected to the parent child, if there is a issue, and impacted. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Okay. Any other? If I have some CIs over here, okay. This is my CI for this incident. Now, at the same time, can you see? Directly it applies to that particular one. Correct?
Yep.
I don't have anything over here as an affected, impacted one, which means affected in the sense directly affected CI for this one. But impacted CIs in the sense if you have any dependent CIs that is running for this particular CI. This CI have no dependency at all. Can you see? There is no dependency for the CI.
Yes.
If you have any dependent CI for this CI, then those things will be appear in the impacted CIs. Think in this way. You are running this ServiceNow. ServiceNow is get affected. Or don't take it time. Think about this one. See, whatever you see ServiceNow, all this server is sitting somewhere in our US and UK. Right?
Yep.
If any one of the server get affects over here, there, that particular server is called as affected CI. But here in the impacted service, you can see ServiceNow. If that CI get affected in the sense, obviously, the particular services belong to that CI will also get affected, right?
Yes.
Previously also, I think previous week also, some of the ServiceNow server got outage. You know, for nearly 4 hours in the weekend, it got outages. Many ServiceNow instances got out. Because of that, many transaction failure happens from the third-party system. So the affected service in this case is ServiceNow. There are some interesting interviews where you can come across. They may ask, what is the difference between affected CI and impacted CIs? Now I think you can able to answer this question.
Yep.
Now, the next thing will be here. Now you have to learn about this particular one, this relationship. Okay.
Please share this link, ma'am.
I'm sharing in the chat. I shared in the chat. Just pick it up from there. You can read about the what is the different type of relationship it has and how it is actually trying to impacted or affected it related, how the suggested relationship that works. As you see, there is a table for suggested relationship. These are different type of relationships we have. All the different type of relationship with every table it has will be available over here. Can you see? Based on this relationship only, all the graphs in your system will be get drawn. For example, you're seeing this kind of graphs and all, right? This relationship graphs and all under every CI. I may not sure where it has large connections. Okay, I'm just randomly opening up the things.
Actually, servers will have more, ma'am, as per my knowledge.
Yeah, service will be having it. This is showing some installed on the software get installed on these devices. Okay, this has. This one, if you see the relationship, depends on services, different type of depends on different tables used by services. All these relationship, okay, coming from this relationship table. Suggested relationship. If we have the base classes server, okay, here we have circuit node services will be shown, database application mass storage device. Based on the relationship of parent, this is the dependent class, this is the base class. So based on this relationship will also be shown to you. We click on over here, right click, okay, right click on that, you can see how many affected CIs over here, how many recent outages, okay. If you want to add some other relationship, we can add it up. Any other related task you can view, run layouts from here, different layouts, horizontal layout, various layouts like this. These are the things what you're seeing now, the service, server, email server. These things only you will discover from discovery and from the service mapping. Fine, guys.
Ma'am, here what about the details, ma'am? In after that group, we have some details. Right, right side top corner, vertical, horizontal, radial,
There's
force.
two only actually. How many incidents you have, how many problems, how many change affected CIs you have. This is for every CIs. If you click on, it will show you in the below. See for this particular, what is it? Okay. This one I clicked. Yeah. For this particular server, this particular item, you have this problem.
Okay.
That is what will be shown to you in the backend.
Mhm.
After this, we have to continue with relationship rules. Different type of relationship rules we have. What is how the health dashboard get connected with this one and your CI list. This is nothing but a list of CIs for this particular CIs. Okay. So just go and study about this relationship. Okay. We will be seeing few more examples tomorrow, and then we can continue with the CI health dashboard.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Have a nice day, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
Thanks. Bye. Any other questions from anyone? No, right?
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, Sumit.
It is related to the stale CI. So
Hmm?
just wanted to understand in couple of parameters which we decide. You said that if a server doesn't get update or a CI doesn't get update, can you give couple of examples?
A couple of scenarios.
Yes. Like what kind of update?
For example, there is think in this way. You have a server or you have a computer.
Yeah.
That computer, you are running some discovery.
Yeah.
Okay. For 60 days, no one get operated that computer. Okay. Now, forcefully, this discovery will try to push some data from that computer. Okay.
Okay.
From the discovery. But still, it can't do that in the sense, then that CI will be considered as the stale CI. Because
Okay.
no update that will happen for the past 60 days.
Okay.
Even though this same concept only, you will be checking in the health dashboard. So CMDB health dashboard is dealing with how health our CMDB is, whether every CI getting updated, no stale CIs at all. This is what you will be checking in the
Okay.
health of the
And
CI.
yeah, thanks. One more quick question around that. Can we, I suppose a CI doesn't have any event generated from 60 days from our monitoring tool. Can it be considered as a parameter for stale CI? Can we configure that?
Event,
Yes,
we can configure it actually. Through the data
configure that.
tool, you can configure it.
Yeah, because taking that as a real-time example from our instance, our setup. So there is a request from customers sometimes. So this the particular server. Yeah.
Add that particular data source as event, which event source you are using, add it over there and just put it that one as 60 days or 70 days, 90 days, whatever days there is. prepare it.
So we can do that.
Yeah.
And the refresh rules which we set for the stale CI, so we have to do that individually for the CI, or there is an option for set it at some kind of group or like that.
Individually, you have to do it.
Okay, fine. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, thanks. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, bye.